Hello. How's it going? I know you probably weren't expecting to hear from me this soon already. I didn't give you any heads up about another episode coming out, but today's episode is the one that I had planned to edit and have all ready for you, but I couldn't because I got back late from my flight because it got delayed. So I was like, hey, let me just throw it in here, middle of the week, nice bonus episode for you. And this one's a little bit longer than normal, but hey, I figured this is a bonus episode, something special for you in the middle of the week. And to use a phrase that my friend Amber has coined, we'll call this one a 7 or 8 bagger. And that's what she referred to episodes that were much longer than it takes to pop a bag of popcorn. So this one is definitely longer, but it's a fun conversation. Had a lot of time recording this one with today's special guest. Hope you enjoy. And as always, appreciate you joining me here. This is Chris. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to Popcorn Finance, where we discuss finance and about the time it takes to make a bag of popcorn. I appreciate you coming back again. And today I'm joined by the host of one of my favorite podcasts, Stacking Benjamins, Joe Saul-Sehy. How's it going, Joe?
Man, I'm so happy to be here. Speaking of popcorn, we're going to talk movies, huh?
That's exactly why I wanted you here, because, we both, we can sit here and talk about money all day, but, we both have another interest other than money, and that's movies. We both love going to the movies. And, we both love it so much that we jumped in and just decided to grab MoviePass. And, Joe, how long have you actually had MoviePass for at this point?
So I had MoviePass near the very beginning. I remember we did a story on our show about MoviePass, and immediately I thought, Cheryl and I, we go every Tuesday afternoon, nearly every Tuesday afternoon to see a movie. A couple of years ago, I saw 70 movies at the theater.
70?
That's how much we went to the movies. So I live in this little tiny town. People need an explanation. Like, why would you go see 70 movies? We live in a little tiny town, Texarkana, not a lot to do, and movies are fun, right? Yeah. And so we go with people, we go by ourselves. And so a couple of years ago, we saw 70, and we've cut that back. We've now gone to maybe 40, 45, but still a lot of movies. So when I saw MoviePass, I thought, what a great way to rip off a company. Because there's no way, Chris, I was going to lose that deal. Like, that was a great deal for me. And sadly, great deal for me, not great for the MoviePass people.
Yeah, and I think that's what everyone's starting to figure out is that, hey, MoviePass was too good to be true, because as many people have seen in the news, they're changing all their terms. It's not really the same program that it was before. And for those of you who don't know what MoviePass is, it was a subscription service where you could see an unlimited amount of movies. Well, one per day, every day of the month if you wanted to. And slowly, as they've spent all of their money, they've started tightening the restrictions up here and there. And, it went from being unlimited to, you can see any movie you want, but just not the same movie twice. And then, you can't see the big movies. How about some of these indie movies? They've slowly kind of ratcheted it down. And, for this reason, and I'm sure many of you have seen articles all over the internet, there's these alternatives that are kind of popping up and are starting to kind of take a little bit of the MoviePass shine. And so I thought I'd talk to Joe about, some of these other alternatives.
But even before we get to that, MoviePass's change wouldn't have bothered me if they had given us set times that we could go. Because, as I mentioned, Tuesday afternoon is when I go. So I'm okay with them limiting the number of movies that I can go, or checking a box. Because let's say that I can't see Mission Impossible this week. I have to wait until it is a movie that's been out 4 or 5 weeks. I'm fine with that. That's okay. I'll see it sooner or later. But once they changed it, that they told me in an email, the CEO sent out an email that said that I have to look at the app to see if this particular time that I want to see a movie is a time that I can actually use the pass. And now it's this random thing every week of when it works and when it doesn't. I just don't have time for that. So for me, it went bye-bye. But you're right. There's a lot of different alternatives. And which one do you want to start with, Chris? The Cinemark one?
Yeah, let's jump in with Cinemark. That's one I've tried personally, and I think it was okay, but you seem to hate it.
Yeah, and I dislike Cinemark. I have this long hatred of Cinemark. We've lived in Texarkana for 10 years, and it's our only movie theater in town, and it's just it is. I've ripped on Cinemark so much. I'm surprised that they let me in. But here's the deal: it's $9 a month, and the thing is, you get one 2D movie ticket every month for $9. I go on Tuesday afternoon, Chris. It's $4.50. So I can pay double for my movie once a month. All right. So that doesn't work. Well, maybe if I switch over to the weekend when a lot of people go, well, in Texarkana, because it's a small town, it's generally $8 to go see a movie.
On the weekend?
Well, yeah, the pricing is different depending on where you go. Like if I'm in New York City, the Cinemark plan might be a decent plan, or in LA, it might be a great plan. In little town America, where they have to lower the price to get people to come to the movie, it's $9 to see a movie. I might as well just show up and see the movie. Now, but that's not all. But wait, folks, there's more. You get 20% off the concessions for, quote, you and your friends.
Look at that right there.
And so, yeah, if I'm a hog at the concession stand, like I'm already asking for trouble. I remember there was this, you remember and they actually do it online now, this Bloom County comic strip. Bloom County is one of my favorite comic strips of all time. And this little penguin opus, there's a great one, I think from the 90s, where he walks into this dollar movie theater and he's like, oh, thank goodness the movies are only $1. And then he goes to the concession stand. They say, that's $82.40. It's like, this is a bargain at $1 for the movie. And that's the deal. If you're somebody picking out at the concession stand, you're asking for it already. So 20% off the concession stand doesn't really interest me. And so the Cinemark is generally a thumbs down for their movie club.
I mean, but think about it. All you have to do is buy $40 worth of food and your $8 movie ticket is free. Come on.
If I can get a $12 Twizzler with that, please, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Well, I think you're right. Out here in LA, for me to go to movies on a weekend, like on a Saturday, it would be like $15 at night. So for me, it's good for that, but I could go down to like a Costco or a Sam's Club and buy the same pass, for $9 and really wouldn't make any difference to me. So, yeah. I mean, I can see this one, this will be lower on the list. If you're like maybe a super casual moviegoer, and the one benefit I did like with them is that the tickets do roll over. So if you buy it, if you get if you don't go to the movies that month, that ticket will roll over and you have 2 tickets the next month. So that part is nice if you're super casual.
And you can also buy tickets for friends at a locked in price as well, which I also like. So
yes.
If you're in LA, New York, this might be a decent plan. If you go to the same theater, what I really liked about MoviePass, of course, I could go to any theater. I wasn't locked into just one. Sometimes movies don't come to your particular theater that's close by. With Cinemark, you have to go to that particular theater.
True. Very, very true. So, okay, this one, we'll put this one down towards the bottom of our list. So, all right, so the next one, which I think you're the biggest fan of, is the AMC Stubs A-List program. And with them, you get, it's $20 a month, $19.95 if we don't want to round it up. And you get 3 movies a week, which I think is by far the most that you're going to get out of these plans, I think, compared to any of the other ones I've seen out there.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I mean, for $19.95 a month, I can see a ton of movies. Now, I can't see them all in IMAX or in 3D, but I can see some of them in the bigger format. But most of them I have to see in 2D. I prefer movies in 2D usually. Anyway, I'm not a big fan of wearing the glasses the entire movie.
Same.
I sound like a grumpy old guy, but I really just give me my movie. And this delivers that. And then I also, AMC has their whole Stubs point program that kind of ties into this. So I think AMC took some time to develop this plan. I felt like Cinemark, who came out with theirs much earlier than AMC did, it felt reactionary. It felt like it came out quick. AMC, when they came out with theirs, even with MoviePass, it felt like a better deal. Cinemark's felt like a different deal that wasn't quite as good, but they were going to offer you their own. Like, it was funny. I'd walk into our Cinemark movie theater and the person would go, well, we have our own. I kind of laugh and go, oh, you're a cute little thing. No. I have my MoviePass. But AMC, seriously, you look at AMC versus MoviePass at $19.95 a month and you could see 12 movies a month. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, that's not bad, especially with the changes that MoviePass has implemented. So now it's $9.95 a month, and they've already announced that they plan on raising it to $14.95, and they're limiting you to 3 movies a month. So right there, it's already, I think, lost to AMC at that point.
Well, and the thing here is that AMC from the very beginning created a program, right? You and I are financial people. That's sustainable. Yeah. From the beginning, AMC said we created a responsible program that we know is great for us and great for the consumer. So I'm all about that program. If I was closer to an AMC theater, that would be a great program for me.
And I think that's why I went back and forth, because I live right in the middle between an AMC and a Cinemark. So I was going back and forth. I was like, I don't know which way to go, but I took the dive on Cinemark, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's not going to last. So I'm going to, I think AMC might be the next one on my list to give a try.
But seriously, part of this has to do a lot with, on your show a lot, you talk about your financial goals. This has a lot to do with your goals. If you're somebody that's not going to see a ton of movies like I do or you do, spending $20 a month on movies, I think you got to look at your experience over time and say, is that really worthwhile? For me, I will clean up on that deal. And for you, I think you might too. But I think a lot of people listening go, yeah, I might see one movie a month. Still better to just go see your one film.
Yeah, exactly. Just a one-off ticket is probably the best bet for most people.
Yeah.
All right. And then we get into the dark horse here, the one that I guess originally came out as like one of the bigger competitors, I think direct competitors to MoviePass. And that's, I've heard it pronounced Cinemia and Cinemia. I don't know, whichever pronunciation you prefer to go with. It's a weird name either way, but they have like a limited model now, which MoviePass, their program kind of looks a lot like theirs, but they have tiers. So for them, the normal price is anywhere from $12.99 up to $34.99, but they constantly have sales, so I don't even think that's the real price. So right now on their summer sale, it's $3.99 is their cheapest program, and that's for one just regular 2D ticket a month, which is I think that's a pretty good deal.
That's a very good deal. Yeah.
And then the biggest benefit is you can actually buy your ticket online, whereas with MoviePass, you actually have to show up unless it's one of their participating theaters. So that already kind of gives it a leg up. And then it goes all the way up to their top tier, which right now is on sale for $14.99. And that gives you 3 movies a month. But one of those can be a 3D or IMAX movie. So you have like one of those tickets is available as like an upgraded ticket. So right there, that's already, I think it's a pretty good deal. I mean, because if you can look at it, same price as MoviePass, but you get the option for a 3D ticket in there and the online buying. So
it'll be interesting to see what happens with this, because I think the biggest thing about Cinemia is their distribution. You just never hear about them.
No.
And it seems like that's just a marketing issue. I can't figure out why I don't hear about them, because it seems fairly obvious that for somebody that's a big moviegoer like you or I, like this would be a good flexible plan.
Yeah, I think so. And yeah, you're right. I don't hear anything about them. The only places I hear any news about them is actually through like a tech website. Like I go on like The Verge, or you go to like a CNET, they'll talk about them, but literally no one else, you don't see any type of other advertisements other than that.
But do you get suspicious of that? Like MoviePass went viral, right? And so I didn't get suspicious of MoviePass because I thought, well, everybody's heard of this, so this is great. Cinemia, I read everything about this plan. It sounds awesome, and yet I still hear nothing. So then I get suspicious about, what is it that I don't know? Is there something about this plan that's lurking in the background? They're like, oh, that's where they get you. Like ice cubes, Oh, you got to buy the tray. Okay, you get the water for free. You put it in the freezer. Yeah, that's all free, but they get you with the tray. That's the ticket.
Those hidden costs, you got to watch out.
I know, right? There's got to be something like that with this, because I never hear about them ever, except when people like you and I are talking.
Yeah, the only thing I did hear about them is that I believe they're coming over from Europe. So I think they had this model there. And I don't know if maybe it's just they're not putting a lot of effort here in the U.S. because there was already a competitor in place. I'm not sure, but I've heard that in Europe, these movie subscription programs are more common. They've already existed, and AMC actually had a program there already in place. They just hadn't brought it over to the States. And so MoviePass kind of, I think, like accelerated this for everyone. They kind of made them jump in.
That's what I was going to say, Chris. That's what I love about this, is that I feel like this was a long time coming, and MoviePass kind of broke it open. And even though in the process of breaking it open, they broke themselves.
Yeah.
I think that now we're seeing all these awesome options for going back to the theater, which is where I love to see a movie at the theater. I've got friends that love seeing movies at home. Not me. Man, sit me in a real movie theater with that movie theater $60 popcorn. But sit me in a real movie theater and I'm in heaven. Like, that's great. I love going out. It's fun.
Yeah, it's an experience. I mean, that's how I grew up. I mean, going, in high school, my friends would go to the theater. Maybe we were watching multiple movies. Maybe we bought tickets to all those movies. I'm not going to say, but that's what you did. And it was fun. It was way better than any experience you can get at home. To me, I don't care how expensive your sound system is. It's not the same as actually sitting in a theater.
I totally agree.
So, I mean, I think there's some good alternatives out there for people who maybe have had a MoviePass already, or they're sitting here wondering what they should jump into. I think that's good. That's a good 3 options for you. So, you can take your pick, choose what fits you, your budget, your lifestyle, or don't choose any of them and just buy one ticket whenever you find time to go around and actually make it to the movie. So do you have like a selection for yourself, Joe? Is there something that you're looking at that you're like, okay, I think this is what I'm going to go with?
No, what's funny is we are moving back to Detroit in the next few months. So I'm punting on this decision, to use a football term, where I'm just kicking the ball down the field. I'm not going to pay attention to it right now. In January in Detroit, we get back together. I'll tell you what I did, but the AMC movie theater is fairly close to us, but I like a lot of the artsy movies that show up at the art houses, especially in January when they're announcing the Oscar nominees. So I don't know. Stay tuned.
Okay. I'm going to check in with you. I'll see what's going on.
Cinemia, maybe number 2, only because, and I don't know why I call it number 2, because really it's kind of number 1, but because I can go to different movie theaters, I've got some flexibility. Depending on how many movies I see, it can be maybe a little less expensive than the AMC one. The AMC one just seems so straightforward.
Yeah.
It seems so very straightforward. Like I don't have to think at all. I get it. 3 movies a week, bam, I'm in.
I know, Joe. I want to be with you on the AMC one, but I am cheap, so my eyes automatically go to the lowest number. So
Cinemia for you then.
I think that's going to be the next one I try. So Cinemark, I've given that a try. I think I'm done with that. MoviePass, obviously, that's going away, or it's going to be something I don't want eventually.
It already is something I don't want.
Yeah.
Frankly, the way it is now, I can't do it. I can't get ready to go see a movie, get all excited about it, and then look at my app and go, yeah, you can't go.
All right, I'm with you on that. So you let me know what's going to happen to Detroit for you. I'll let you know how Cinemia is and if it's something that's that's worth your time.
It's a deal. I got one more question for you, by the way.
Yeah.
So your favorite movie so far this year? We've talked a lot about these plans. We got to talk about movies for just a second.
Oh, I should have been ready for this question. I should have been ready for it.
Yes.
There was one I just saw recently that I thought was amazing, and now I can't. The one thing you're going to learn about me, Joe, is my memory is horrible. So I'm going to think about this. What was your favorite?
Okay, so I've got 2 because I can't just have one. I really like the Mr. Rogers documentary. I thought it was fantastic. I don't remember what it's called. Is it Won't You Be My Neighbor or Mr. Rogers documentary or something? But the Mr. Rogers documentary is fantastic, and Black Klansman was amazing. Those are both my number 1 this year. Fantastic movies.
Oh man, I've been wanting to see Black Klansman. I have a friend who's flaking on me. We were supposed to go see it, but it didn't happen.
You'll be on the edge of your seat. If you're looking for a light movie, don't go, because it's heavy. There's a lot of messages in it, and it is action packed. I think Spike Lee did a phenomenal job.
Okay, that was definitely on my list. And I think MoviePass might let me watch that one still. So
well, that's before you get rid of it,
yeah, right?
Like a parting gift.
I think I'm gonna have to go with 2 movies too. Then I can't choose, and so. This one is more, I think this is just kind of nostalgia because Ready Player One, I really love the movie just because I love the book. I read the book, I don't know, 6 years ago, and I was like, they'll never make this into a movie. It's impossible. There's way too much licensing going on in here. And of course, Spielberg, if there's anyone who can do it, it's him, right? He has the most connections, I think, of anybody. So I really love that movie. It's not the same as the book. It's not.
That's what I was about to say. I've heard from everybody. I didn't read the book, Chris, but I've heard from a lot of people. It's not the same, but it's still really good.
Oh, yeah. I think they changed things for the better. So they changed the challenges up. They're not the same as what's in the book. But the ones that were in the book would have been very boring to watch in a movie, I think. It works well written, but I don't think watching someone stand at an arcade cabinet would have worked as well as, like a race scene or things like that. So that's my one nostalgia one. And then, I love Marvel movies. They're not all good, but I'm still going along for the ride. They've had me for the past 10 years watching these things. And Infinity War was amazing. I watched that thing twice in the theaters because, man, that was a feat. I thought, how are they going to keep the 1,000 characters they have now all together and it makes sense? But it was blended perfectly. Like it was balanced. The story made sense. They had an actual realistic villain who had a real motivation and you believed him, and it was a good actor on top of that. So, I got to throw that one in there too.
I liked you so much until you said that. I thought it was long. It was drawn out. I'm like, whatever. Here's the thing. They have what, 5 Infinity Stones in that movie?
Yeah.
So I know at the beginning, and maybe this is just the writer in me, I know they have 5 Infinity Stones. And so we got the big battle over Infinity Stone number 3 and the Whopper battle over Infinity Stone 4. I'm like, these battles don't matter. Just get me the damn number 5 because I know that's where the big stuff's going to happen. So we end up with all of this stuff that goes on, and I'm just waiting for number 5. Just, wake me up when we get to 5. So
have you seen all the movies?
I have, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Joe, you disappoint me, Joe. This is a masterpiece. This is Marvel's culmination of years of work.
See, I think that let's put it this way. I liked it a lot better than the other Avengers movies that they've had so far, which really, the one, the Captain America movie, Civil War, really was an Avengers movie, right? I mean, I think it was. So, but to Civil War, I didn't think it was that great because there was really no stakes. Like they've got these 2 armies of superheroes going at each other. You're not going to kill any of them because then you kill the franchise.
Yeah.
So, which, by the way, and I don't want to do spoilers, but stuff happened in Infinity Wars that is really there's some pretty high stakes for the second half of that.
Yeah.
The stakes are definitely high. So I did like that part. I thought that was great, but what, 2.5 hours? Holy!
It could have been 5 hours. I would have sat there for all of it, Joe.
I'll tell you the two that I'll take this year. I loved Deadpool and I loved Black Panther. I thought both of these movies were fantastic Marvel movies. I was underwhelmed by Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Same here.
Yeah, the first one I thought was phenomenal. Second one I was like, not that good. Ant-Man, I always laugh my head off. I think Ant-Man is fun. It's always like a 6.5 on a scale of 1 to 10. I just go in, have some popcorn. I think it's a good time. Mm-hmm. Like I love that ride. But yeah, give me Black Panther, give me Deadpool 2, and score.
Yeah, okay. I think you may have me on those two. I forgot about those. Those were earlier in the year. Yeah, that's close then. Okay. All right, we'll agree to disagree on Avengers Infinity War.
It's funny because JD Roth, who's a big blogger in our space, he's come on our show before to argue Star Wars. And we have these same fights, Chris, over Star Wars. So I'll debate you all day on Infinity Wars. I'll take him on Star Wars. I'll have I'll have my Infinity Stones out with you. I'll have my lightsaber out with him. We're just fighting everybody.
Yeah, as long as you didn't like Solo, then we're okay.
Yeah. No, I did.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, he didn't like it either. Yeah. Yeah. Go have him on your podcast.
I think I may need you. I may be able to trust his judgment on movies a little bit better. I don't know.
So maybe. I did like it. I thought the stakes were really high. I thought the action was really good. I like the fact that they married it right at the end. I didn't realize until the end. I thought, well, and I don't want to spoil that either, but I didn't realize that it could end the way that it ended. And then I liked the way that it ended. I thought the fact that it ended that way, I thought was really brave. I thought it was a good way to finish a movie.
Okay. I'll go with you on that one. Well, Joe, hey, I appreciate your time. Thanks for joining me on here. And we got some bonus movie talk in here too. And, before we go too, I want to make sure I say thanks to Jen Smith. She wrote an article for The Penny Hoarder. It's 3 MoviePass alternatives for anyone who's bitter about the latest changes. So I got some great details and information on the plans from her there. And she was a guest on both of our shows actually too. So, we got a connection there. So
she's awesome. She's fantastic.
No, she really is. And then Joe, other than, Stacking Benjamins and, I think you're doing like 40 other podcasts right now as well. I heard you're going around the country and you're doing something, right?
Nabbed you. I actually roped you into this thing, and I didn't even have to like offer $20. I was so surprised. I was so excited. But yeah, we are headed to Orlando, Kansas City, and Detroit. People have said for a long time about our show, as we've gone and met fans around the country, they've said, "Well, so you're gonna perform the show?" I'm like, "No, I'm just having a foamy beverage with you. We're not gonna perform the show." And they're like, "Oh, but your show would be so great live." And then we thought about it, and we thought, well, a lot of these dumb dad jokes that we do, that we think are so funny, we can also do some visual humor. and it'll be a lot of fun. So we are playing along with you. So Chris is going to be with us in Orlando. We'll be there September 25th at the Improv. I can't believe I get to say we're playing the Improv, by the way. It's really cool. And then we're in Kansas City at the Improv on October 9th. And then we'll be in Detroit on September 24th. And it's going to be not like our show that we do on the podcast. It'll be kind of like that. It'll be a similar format. But because we can all be in the same room as the people listening, we can do some visual jokes. And I can't wait to – I have to – Mom might call in. In one city, Doug might lose his job. In another city, we may have a band of some big-time bloggers that a lot of you know that follow some of the financial blogs. In another one, we might have an 11-year-old who's our band. I'm just saying, we might have one of the best storytellers you've ever heard in another city. I'm not going to tell you which one's which, but $10 to come see it at the Improv in Orlando, Improv in Kansas City, and then Go Improv Comedy Theater in Ferndale, Michigan, just north of Detroit, on the end of the tour. So hope people can come out and see us.
Oh, nice. And I think if you're debating between, MoviePass and then going to one of these tour dates, I think it's a no-brainer. You go to the tour, right?
2 podcasts for the price of one. You get 2 podcasts in the same night, and it's only $10. And you get to either laugh your head off if you have a sense of humor like ours, or you groan if you don't. How great is that? It's going to be so fun. And seriously, the thing that I really like about this, Chris, is that you go to these cities, and even where I live now in Texarkana, and when I was in Detroit, you don't know how many cool people are talking about money in your backyard. And they're talking about it in these very creative, fun ways. Like we think of money as, well, you and I don't, but a lot of people think of these money topics as boring and as topics that we can't really get into or we can't get our head around. And yet there's so many people doing so many cool, innovative things that our mission has always been to show people all the different people that are out there creating cool stuff. And so in Orlando, we're going to show you cool people in Orlando doing this stuff. In Kansas City, all the cool people in Kansas City doing what you and I do. And in Detroit, the same. So I hope people come out and spend a night geeking out with us, being money geeks with us. That'll be a great time.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I would love to see as many people as we can get out there. And Joe, where can people go again to buy a ticket?
Yeah, great question. StackingBenjamins.com/tour. So just go to StackingBenjamins.com/tour, and you'll not only be able to click on the links to buy tickets there, either from the Improv or from Go Comedy Theater. You'll also see the rundown of who's there, because we have not only the great Chris Browning with us, but we've got some other really cool people, and I think you'll be impressed. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, nice. Thank you. That's going to be great. Everyone, please go check it out. Even if you say you don't even live in Florida, I'm sure that plane tickets aren't that expensive to get down there. Just come on down. Pick up a train, carpool. And it is. Well, seriously, about that date, Chris, not to belabor the topic, but it's the day before FinCon. And I know that PT at FinCon has a community pass. So if you're somebody who's a money geek and you know a bunch of the podcasters or bloggers that are out there, you could come see the show on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, meet with a bunch of your favorite podcasters, bloggers in the financial community. So if you're a true money geek, that might be an option for you. No, that's a great point. What other time are you going to have all these people together in one place? Maybe some of your favorite podcasts all in one area, plus a live show. I think you need to jump on it. Just come down there. You'll love it.
Absolutely. Well, we get to see Chris. That's why I'm going.
Well, thank you. I'm honored, Joe. Well, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate your time and helping us break down some of these plans and talking about some great movies, and we're going to get the information out about the tour. So thanks again, Joe. Appreciate you being here, and yeah, looking forward to seeing you in Orlando.
That's awesome, Chris. Looking forward to seeing you too, and everybody who comes. Thanks a ton for having us.
Yeah, boy, keep it poppin' like Mary Poppins.